80 miles an hour. They went straight into the water.
Now at 6, one person is dead after a car launched off the USS Midway Pier. How a stabbing may have led up to all of this.
Plus, a big announcement about smart street lights amid hate crime investigations. Hurricane Beryl just made landfall in Texas, the latest on this deadly storm.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
We are following breaking news out of the downtown area where a driver launched their car off the USS Midway Pier. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Irampour. This all happening after midnight. CBS 8's Regina Yurita is live at the scene with more on what police are saying led up to all of this. Regina.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. And I can tell you that Harbor Police actually confirmed that they believe that this incident is in connection to the stabbing that happened in La Jolla. But they just pulled that Honda out about 30 minutes ago. Take a look at what we're looking at. Look at some of the damages left onto this car. We have several officers here, as well as a red tow truck that's been helping officers with that car that had been underwater since midnight. They were working to hook the car and make sure that they could safely pull it out. Once they did, it was pulled out vertically, so the struggle was how to land that car the way they have it positioned now. It had been leaking gasoline, so crews are helping to clean that mess to make sure that this doesn't cause a larger disaster. So they have confirmed, police have confirmed that the driver is now dead. They pulled the body out of the car while that Honda was still underwater, but that driver is confirmed that he is dead after launching into the water. This all happened sometime around midnight. But at the same time, San Diego police had been investigating a stabbing that happened in La Jolla Boulevard at the Travel Lodge Model. Both SDPD and Harbor Police believe the incident that happened here on the Navy Pier is in connection with the stabbing that happened in La Jolla. SDPD says a man stabbed a woman for unknown reasons. Shortly after that incident, that same suspect launched his car into the bay after the stabbing incident. Now, we're still trying to get more information, more details about both these incidents, but right now we can confirm that they are connected. So back out here, police also tell us the woman involved in the stabbing was taken to the hospital in stable condition. As far as the scene right now, as I've mentioned just a couple seconds ago, crews are trying to clean up some of the mess because it was leaking gasoline when they pulled that car out of the water. It's going to be here for the next couple of hours trying to figure out how they remove this car from the USS Midway parking lot. But for now, that is the latest information that we've gotten from Harbor Police as well as San Diego Police. Eric and Netta.
All right, a lot going on there,
Yeah,
Regina. Thanks
wow.
for the latest there. Hey, today's still going to be a very hot one for parts of our county.
It sure is. So meteorologist Evan Narani joining us. Yeah, those temperatures are still, woo-wee. It just pains me to see that.
No end in sight
Yeah.
on this heat wave that has already been relatively long lasting. All this week, we're expecting very hot temperatures that you'll primarily feel across our mountains and deserts. Tuesday through Thursday, so tomorrow through Thursday, our inland valleys will also be under an excessive heat warning. The coolest spot in the county continues to be the coastline. That's where you're going to find the relief from those very hot temperatures. So along the coast, mid-70-degree temperatures. It was a warm weekend, but again, within a few degrees of average. Inland, mid-80s, mid-90s for the mountains, and 120 for the deserts. Back to you.
A big announcement is expected to come from the San Diego Police Department later on this morning. Smart streetlights are expected to be installed in Hillcrest ahead of Pride festivities next week.
CBS 8's Chris Groh live in Hillcrest right now, where bars were targeted by a string of pellet gun attacks recently. Good morning, Chris. What's the plan there?
Yeah, good morning. So the plan is to get them up and to get them up quickly. That way they will be able to catch anyone who maybe tries this again a little bit quicker, and also potentially even deter anyone who may be thinking about carrying out such crimes like the ones that we saw happen both here in Hillcrest and in North Park. Now, here in Hillcrest alone, we saw 3 LGBTQ plus bars targeted by these drive-by shootings. According to police, patrons were shot outside the Rail, Number 1, and Riches. They were also targeted outside Peck's Bar bar in North Park, and then a couple walking their dog in Old Town was also shot at. In total, 3 people were hit, including one person in the eye who required minor surgery. Now, the attacks on the bars are being considered potential hate crimes. They are investigating that as the motive. The shooters in each instance, they were being driven in a newer black sedan using a mock AK-47 style pellet gun, and they still have not been arrested. Now, according to San Diego Police Department, hate crimes were up here locally 73% last year. They believe that these smart street lights, as well as these license plate readers, will be able to crack down on such crimes. And again, as they said, deter them from even happening. Now, later on this morning, they'll be coming together with members of the Hillcrest community as well as business owners here in this area to detail the plans, how quickly they will get up, where they will be, and so forth. We'll be sure to cover that and bring that more information to you here on CBS 8 during our midday shows. Eric and Netta.
Chris, thank you. Police are also trying to relocate some of these controversial smart street lights as well. We're going to explain why and have reaction coming up later this hour. And this morning, a 20-year-old active duty Marine is dead after a crash in Oceanside. Happened just before 8 last night near the intersection of Douglas Drive and North River Road. Police say the Marine, who has not been identified, was riding a motorcycle that collided with a vehicle making a left turn. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene. Police say she was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Oh, you hear how loud that is? Look at that wind. New this morning, nearly 1 million homes and businesses without power after this Hurricane Beryl making landfall in Texas. It hit the Texas coast just west of Houston as a Category 1 hurricane just hours ago. So it re-strengthened. It was a tropical storm, and then it turned into the warmer waters of the Gulf of Mexico, adding speed. Officials warned people along the entire Texas coastline to prepare for all this heavy wind, the rain, the flooding, as you see. Some coastal communities could reach up to 7 feet of storm surge. Texas's lieutenant governor has issued a preemptive disaster declaration for more than 120 counties. The storm already carved a path of deadly destruction as it roared through the Caribbean. It will still be very hot in our mountains and deserts this week. And if you plan to go hiking, go early in the morning. Bring more water than you think you need. And please wear a hat, put on that sunscreen. So we want to let you know it's important to be aware of the signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. This can happen. Heat exhaustion comes first. It involves dizziness, thirst, heavy sweating, and nausea. Heat stroke leads to confusion, then unconsciousness. The key is to recognize the signs of trouble early.
You want to notice that immediately and try to reverse them from getting more hot, because that can progress to heat stroke. So those people may be very confused. You may come upon someone on the trail that's completely unconscious.
Hey, now a heads up here for those who want to go hiking. Some trails are closed, and that includes the San Diego River Gorge, Cedar Creek Falls, Three Sisters Falls is closed, and Eagle Peak Trails. All closed because of the heat over the weekend, so keep an eye out for any more closures. You don't want to show up all the way there to then know that you can't access it. For the latest weather conditions and alerts on the go, download the free CBS 8 app from Google Play or the App Store. And by closing those trails, hopefully it kept some people safe.
Yeah.
Hiking right now, I don't know why you would even want to.
Yeah, if you're looking for a recreational activity, I think swimming at the beach is the best way to cool down.
Another option, sometimes they're waiting for people to arrive and checking how much water you're bringing with you.
Yeah.
That's another option for them. But it's better just to close them entirely, because it is truly this type of weather that we're working with, weather that you do not want to be on a hike in. You should not be doing any strenuous activity across the mountains or deserts. Deserts specifically, when we're peaking around 120 to 125 degrees, that is just incredible for this early in the summer season. And then across the mountains, 90s are also not so pleasant. Why are we highlighting the coastline? Well, that's the coolest place to be. That's where you're going to find the most mild conditions, the most comfortable temperatures, and that's where that marine layer is actually coming in handy for the morning hours. So a little bit gray to start off the day. That comes in the form of some fog. But everywhere else besides the coastline is where we're seeing that excessive heat in the form of an excessive heat warning issued by the National Weather Service. Our inland valleys are only under it from Tuesday through Thursday, Tuesday during the day, Wednesday during the day, Thursday during the day. For the mountains and deserts, that has been a long-lasting one that hasn't really expired. It's still in effect. It stays in effect from now all the way through Thursday. After Thursday, that's going to kind of be our cutoff. We're going to start to see a gradual cooling trend, but it's going to still be above average on our afternoon highs as we head into the weekend. It's just cooler than what we see for Tuesday through Thursday. Whole western U.S. working with these types of conditions out there. Santee and El Cajon, a high of 88 degrees this afternoon, 82 for La Mesa, 77 for downtown San Diego, as well as National City and Coronado. In North County, coastline's going to stay in the 70s. 81 for Vista, 83 for San Marcos, and 86 for Poway. It is, again, the mountains and deserts in particular that we have these types of temperatures in the 90s and triple digits. 93 for Julian, 96 at Mount Laguna, Borrego Springs, and Ocotillo Wells, looking at afternoon highs right around 120 degrees. And while we peak in this Tuesday through Thursday window, and we start to see those temperatures slide, again, average is 75. So even as we see that slide into the middle of next week, it looks like those temperatures will still exceed average by a small margin, but not by this close to 10-degree margin in some cases. Let's take a look at traffic out there. 610, no major crashes or collisions on our maps here. You can head to our website, cbs8.com/traffic, to get the latest on what those conditions look like. Let's check in on your border wait times in the meantime. 80-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, so about an hour 20. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to be about an hour 15 to get across there. Ned and Eric.
All right, thank you for that, Evan.
Still ahead here, President Joe Biden remains defiant as more Democratic lawmakers ask him to step aside.
Plus, the worst Russian bombardment in months hitting the Ukrainian Children's Hospital. And as we see more wildfires, how to protect yourself from all of the smoke.